Hey all, welcome to Parker's Reefs. On today's episode, we're going to check out Will's incredible Cade Peninsula 1800. Alright, thank you for joining me on yet another episode of Parker's Reefs. As touched on in the intro, today we are off to Sydney to check out Will's incredible Cade 1800 Peninsula, and a little heads up, Will has some ridiculous corals and some ridiculous fish, including some fish that I've always believed you cannot keep together, or some fish and corals that I've always believed you cannot keep together. So it is awesome to see someone testing the waters out there, if you mind the pun, about what you can do to push the boundaries in this reefing hobby. And let me just say that the results speak for themselves. So I don't know if I can give you much more of a preface than that, other than to say, let's roll the footage and check out Will's absolutely ridiculous Cade 1800 Peninsula. All right, I am here with Will, who has been incredibly generous in allowing us into his home and to film this sensational reef tank that we're going to find out all about. So firstly, Will, thank you so much.
That's all right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can you tell us, where do we start with this tank? Is this a Cade that we're looking at?
Yes, this is a Cade Peninsula 1800.
Beautiful, beautiful.
In white.
Very, very nice. How long have you had this system running for?
The tank's been running for about a year and a half.
Okay, yeah, nice, very nice. And man, there is so much happening in this tank. There's so much incredible livestock in there, from fish to corals to inverts. We will get to all of the livestock soon. Maybe we'll start with some of the infrastructure around it. So some of the equipment you've got running in this incredible tank. But firstly, it runs dead silent. You cannot hear a thing. Have you done something special to make this system that quiet?
No, I'm trying to adjust all the equipment to right settings, so it doesn't make much noise.
Yeah. Because this is in your open plan living area. You don't want, a super loud tank running there. It just seamlessly blends in this beautiful environment. So you've done very, very well there. Maybe with the equipment, we'll start from the top and work our way down. So you've got a pretty intense lighting structure going on up here. Can you walk us through what you've got up there?
Yes, I've got two XR30, Radion XR30, and two Radion XR15s.
Yes.
And two AI blades.
Yeah, nice.
Glow. 5-foot ones.
The glows, yep. How long have you had the blades on there? Are they from the start or something you've added?
Yeah, they're from the start.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Early adopter with the blades. Yeah. Gives a fantastic spread, and I do love the way that the blades sort of give this angled mount you've got on there, which really gets the LEDs pushing directions everywhere in that tank, which works well. Have you done that with a custom mount, or is that a factory? Yeah,
that's a custom-made 3D printed mount.
Very nice.
With a little bit angle on it.
Yeah, it looks a treat. Very, very nice. Seamless. Now, moving from the lights, coming down into the flow, Peninsula tanks, always difficult to get flow. You've got an open end on one side, and then you've gone above and beyond to get enough flow in there to satisfy a mixed reef. Yeah. And you've also managed to make it silent. Can you walk us through what you've done there?
I've got four I've got four MP40s.
Yes.
Two on that side, this side.
Yes.
Another two in the other end.
Yes.
So I used to use gyres on this side, but I don't like the cables going to the display tank.
Yeah.
So I'm just changing to the
MP40s. And they're operating a particular wave pattern or anything you're running on those MP40s?
I'm running Reef Crust.
Yes.
The yellow one.
Yes.
90%.
Okay, you got them cranking pretty hard. They're still super, super silent, which is nice.
Yeah.
And then you've got this sort of cabinetry up the end here. This is a custom build part that you've extended to hide some of your equipment and things in, I'm imagining.
Yeah, it's pretty messy inside. I haven't
That's all right. It's tidy on the outside, and that's
I haven't done any cable management.
That's all good. I do like the way you've managed to get the dry sides of the MP40s there into that cabinet, so that it's all tucked away, neat and tidy, and keeps everything looking slick, and it pretty seamlessly blends in with the Cade white cabinetry you've got here. It just looks like it was always built that way, which is very, very nice. Maybe Cade in future could do a double high caddy.
I wanted to get a caddy, but with the top bits, it will be quite empty. So Maybe if they can have another top hat, I'll get that.
A caddy topper.
Yeah.
Well, if Adam's listening, we'll be sure to chase him up on that. All right, well, now that we've covered above the tank and the flow in the tank, can you run us through some of the filtration underneath the tank and what's keeping this beast running?
I've got a Red Sea 1200 reef mesh down here.
Yes.
And I don't run refugium. Instead of that, I just run like a
just got a little
frag
tank going on here, and not just a little frag tank. Look at the corals you've got in there. Holy moly, that's quite a collection you've got in the sump there. That's
gonies, scullies, and some recordias.
And you've got chimera gonies in there. You've got some different glitters. You've got all sorts, and then the scullies in there. Holy moly, they are nice. OG bounce up on there as well. So tell me, the corals down in the sump, that's to keep away from some of the fish in the display, or?
Mostly it's the flow and light.
Okay.
All the corals inside doesn't require a lot of light, so I'm running one AI blade and with the AI prime. But AI prime, I'm only running it very low, about only 30%.
Yeah, there's very low light there, and they look to be enjoying it very nicely. Intense coloration and beautiful health. The puffiness on those acans and the scullies look incredible. The recordia are nice and large and stretching out, and the gonies are loving life.
Yeah, and got a protein skimmer on this side.
Yes.
So it's a Chinese brand one.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, and some medias.
Beautiful. So realistically, a very simple filtration system. You run the filter roller, a fairly modest skimmer, some ceramic media, and then return back into the display?
Yes.
Beautiful, yeah. So nothing super high tech here.
I don't have any auto water test kits. I do my manually.
Manual test kits for the win. Can't go wrong with manual test kits. That's all good, particularly when you've obviously got a keen eye for what's happening in the display. Yeah. Speaking of the display, I mean, we've talked about the equipment, but we've got to talk about some of the livestock in here, because we've just had a glimpse into the stuff that you keep in the sump. Let's talk about some of the stuff you've got in there. Would you like to talk about fish or corals first?
Probably start with the clams over there.
Sure,
personally,
Plan C, let's talk about the inverts.
Yeah, I like clams a lot.
Yes.
So I collect all the different ones.
Excellent. Tell us, what kind of clams have we got?
This is Maxima clam.
Yes, okay, nice. That's really beautiful. Nice. The blue lightning through it, and then you've got that gold banding as well. Stunning.
If you look top down, that's actually pink.
Yeah, right. That's okay. We'll get some top-down footage of that later. Don't worry. Yeah, stunning piece.
That's a squamosa.
Yes.
It's really nice and big. They grow pretty fast.
Okay.
I've had it only not a year, but I think it's double size already.
Wow.
Yeah. That's another.
So it's gone from approximately the size of this one to that one in a year.
Yeah, right.
Wow, that's some quick growth.
Yeah. And that's another Maxima.
Yeah, that's a stunning piece.
Mostly the Maximus.
Yes.
That's a Crassia.
Yes.
This is another Crassia.
There is another one tucked in there. You've got clams under clams.
Yeah. And those two are the Crassia as well.
Wow.
That's another blue lightning Maxima.
Sensational. And what draws you to the clams? Is it just something you've always wanted to keep? You're just fascinated by them, or?
Yeah, I find that they are. A lot of people say that clams are hard, but I've tried two in the beginning, and they grow quite well. And it's the colors and the patterns that attract me at the most. It's very different with all other corals or fish.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. There's nothing else like clam, that's for sure. Yeah. And that's a stunning collection there. This is not just picking up every clam that you see. This is a very curated collection. You obviously bide your time in waiting for the right piece to become available.
Yeah.
Very nice. So, well, once we move on from the clams, which is difficult or easier said than done because they are some stunning specimens, can you walk us through some of the other corals you've got in here?
The coral I love most is the robusta over there.
Yes.
I've had it for about a year, and it grows really nice.
That's got stunning colours on it. The polyps have got this gold sort of tip to them. The green and gold and pink all on the one piece, and that big, thick branch, very open structure. It gives a very different growth pattern to anything else. I've always been told or always believed that Robusta requires extreme light.
They got about 700 parts up there. So.
Okay, so that would seem accurate there.
Yeah.
700 par, you too can have a Robusta looking like that.
Yeah.
It looks stunning, and the contrast you've got with it and the Dallas stag next to it there, just really breaking up the colors, looks an absolute treat. But these are not the only SBS you've got in the system. You've got so many SBS in here. They're littered throughout everywhere. I can see all sorts of named pieces in here. Obviously, we've got like strawberry shortcakes.
That's a Walt Disney.
Got a Walt Disney here. Yep.
Jason Fox Flame.
Yeah, see the Fox Flame up there, those bright gold tips.
The confetti at the back of the...
Gorgeous, yep, confetti
that
over there.
little frag, the blue one,
yes,
it's Rainbow Fusion.
Ah,
it grows really slow.
Not as fast as the clams, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So many SBS, and I'll be sure to get plenty of top-down footage so we can really see the colours of these beautiful specimens and see how they settle in. Your placement, you obviously have gone for this fairly open structure in the tank with the branching rock, and you've put mostly frags in there just to give them a bit of space to all grow out in different directions.
Yeah.
And then you've gone and put bits in between those.
Yeah, I always try to like squeeze a space for corals to get one more coral.
It is an addiction. Well, you've done well. You've managed to find a spot for a lot of coral in there. There is no shortage of SBS pieces in there. The majority of those are no longer frags. They're definitely colonies now. And to see a Walt Disney colony that size, to see nice, I'm always drawn. I'm a sucker for Dulles, and to see one colony there, another colony there, another colony there, some big pieces looking a treat is good to see. Then once we get past the clams, we get past the huge collection of SPS you've got in there, you've got no end of other pieces in there. Maybe we'll talk about the torch. You've got an incredible torch garden here. What can you tell us about that?
I've got 2 green hawk torch in the middle.
Yes.
All those, the golds, the yellow green ones, they are Holy Grails.
Holy Grails. I was going to say, they look Holy Grail to me. I can see plenty of gold and green on there. And then, you've got a couple of hulks in there just to break it up. But you weren't satisfied with one Holy Grail. You had to have 1, 2, 3, 4 or so of them in there.
Yeah, actually one, it's a bit different. The tip of the middle one, it's like gray yellow tip.
Okay.
All other ones, they are purple, greenish tip.
Yeah, so you found a bit of a variation on the Holy Grail, which is a luxury to have. You've got enough Holy Grails to be able to decipher the difference in the tips, which is incredible. And you've got a lot of people struggle with Gold Torch. You seem to be able to have them thriving in there. Any sort of secrets to that success?
Keep my magnesium above 1400.
Okay.
And I do like ICP test every 3 months, so I'll keep my iodine level at right range.
Okay.
Also, it's very important to keep the flows. They don't like the flows hitting on the head.
Sure.
They like the flow that from bottom to the top.
Yes. Okay. Right.
So
I've placement and flow location very important.
I tried to place them in many spots in my tank, but finally I see that that's the best spot for them.
They look sensational. They've got such good extension. The colours on them are sensational. I'd say you've absolutely nailed the parameters, the location, the flow. Everything is working a treat there, and understandably so. When you've got a pretty solid investment of a Holy Grail torch there, you want to do your best to buy them. And then once we go past the Holy Grail, we just look just a little down here and we can see an extension of that incredible Goniopora garden that you had happening down the sump there. You've got quite a few pieces in here.
Yeah. the gonies in the tank, mostly they are small, they are frags. They are not able to take as much as the flow in the display.
Okay.
So they are like grow out bits, so in the display.
Yes, okay. And I'm assuming, I mean, I'm no Goni expert, but I'm assuming there's a number of named pieces in here. You've got any favourites out of this huge collection?
The green purple glitter, it's very classic. I like that.
Yeah.
That's green glitter.
Yes.
Not quite sure about that name, but the gonies over there. But
It's very bright.
It's like Inferno, but
Yeah.
more gold on it.
Yeah. As you say, the gold extends a long way down the tips on that one, and it's got almost like a greenish, aqua-ish sort of base, and then those very bright gold tips. Stunning piece.
Yeah.
And then you've got pretty much every color combination there is that I've ever seen before, just sitting in there, and that's before you get to the ones in the sump. Pretty crazy. And then coming around here, you've got something you don't see in mixed reefs all that often. You've got some non-photosynthetic pieces in there as well. You've got the gorgonians.
Yeah, I just got it last week. I'm not sure if they can live long in my tank, but they just look so nice.
They're beautiful pieces, yeah. Such a contrasting structure and shape to it. And then the spider sponge in there behind it, I believe.
Yes.
Another piece to try and see how it goes in there. I mean, you've even got a frag rack. I didn't even notice that before, of SBS frags up there. Incredible. And then you got to tell me about these beautiful Christmas tree rocks here.
Yeah, those two Christmas tree worm.
Yes.
Yeah, I've had this for about 3 years.
Okay, nice.
It wasn't like the Monty's on the top. It wasn't like that.
Yes.
The original color was all dead. Somehow I just don't know what happened. But
Monty just encrusted.
Yeah, I put my fairy lights Monty just glue next to the rock. It will just start encrusting.
Encrusted on it, and it hasn't killed the Christmas tree worms. They obviously just stop growing over their opening, obviously, and that looks incredible, the colours. And the colours of the worms on that, some of the brightest I have ever seen. You've got every different colour combination on there, and they're all very, very vibrant. So you must dose phyto or aminos or something in there to keep them that happy?
I've heard a lot of people say that you have to feed them, but probably I've got too many fish. I do have very, very heavy feeding. It's like 7 cubes a day and pellets.
Yeah, okay.
So
they get plenty of food from that source.
Right. I don't do any coral feeding. They still grow.
Incredible. Wow. Hey, whatever the secret is that's working for you, keep doing it because they look incredible. Now, I did also notice you've got a nice little SBS rock going on here. SBS, my apologies, Zoa rock here.
Yep.
Got some very, very nice Zoas on there just growing out. Plan to keep that on that one rock or let it grow out?
Yeah, that rock, it's meant to make like a high-end Zoa garden.
Yes.
So I just started about 2 months ago, so they're still growing.
Yes.
I hope in a year they can get covered.
I'm sure they will. They'll absolutely cover it. And I also saw over here a very happy and healthy looking Trachophilia. This guy has got all sorts of colours for him. We've just got a gigantic Achilles tang photobombing at the moment, but have a look at that Trachophilia. Look at the just the flubber, the movement of it in the flow. Just incredible the way it just jiggles there. That's fantastic extension. Have you always found that Trachophilia had that kind of extension on it, or is that something that's been just recent?
It's always like that puffy.
It looks to be loving life. I mean, we always want to see them extend. You don't just want to see the flesh draped over the skeleton, but to see that just jiggling in the flow the way it is, at any point in time you can look at it and just see that flesh just bouncing around. Look at that. It looks like a cup of jelly with all sorts of colours through it. Just sensational. Very, very good to see. You've got even more SBS frags on a makeshift rack in here. These ones that you've fragged from the other corals, or these ones you've picked up and you're adding to the tank?
Yeah, some of them are from the colonies. Some I just got from the shop and try to grow out.
Yes.
If the color's going really nice, and I'll probably replace the one on the scape.
Sure.
Just do swapping.
They're effectively a bench warmer there, so they're waiting to get the call up to get onto the main stage. And man, if they're the ones on the bench, holy moly, you got some fantastic SBS in there looking a treat. And then we come down here, you've got some very nice deshies in there as well. Nice small ones, but really high end. Very nice colours to them.
Yes, I've got these from Fragorama.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, I've been there.
Good work. Yeah. Fragorama was a fantastic event.
Really nice.
Yeah. Which vendor did you pick those ones up from?
Things from Lamb's tank.
Ah, perfect. Yeah. Excellent. No, well, Lamb definitely has all of the goodies, that's for sure. So that's good to see. Now, I'm not going to pretend for a second that we've covered all of the corals, because we've probably covered 10% of them. But Before we do move on to the fish, are there any corals that I have really missed that we should talk about? Is there anything there that you think that deserves a mention?
Yes, there's one acro is quite special.
Yes, tell me about it.
It's this one. It's our grafted.
Oh, stunning.
Yeah, it's with red and green grafted.
Very nice.
It originally came from Eastwood Korean, which they got it from Interfish.
Beautiful.
About 2-3 years ago.
Nice.
I bought a little frag about a year and a half ago.
Yes.
And start to grow out. But
It's a treat.
yeah, some of the branchings they don't graft it that well.
Yeah.
So
some of them just come out green.
Yeah, just the one, like the one next to it. It came from that original colony.
Yeah, right.
But it doesn't have any res on it. Just let it. But the color is good, so I just let it grow.
In fact, it's quite a different color.
Yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, it's quite a lighter color compared to the original there. But yeah, I did notice that grafted before, and yeah, that's definitely something special. And how long did you say you've had that one in the system for now?
About a year and a half.
Okay. Yep.
But it was much bigger than this. But
Okay.
I was just trying keep on fragging it, get the better color ones to grow out.
Yep.
And actually, I have one in the.
I can see, the base of it there, and that's got fantastic. The Sohol's bombing us there, but yeah, the base of that piece there, you got a big purple pizza slice in the middle there, looking a treat. Yes. Do you know what species of acro that one is by chance?
I think they call it mint berry fusion.
Okay, very nice. It's something to keep an eye out for. In fact, in today's travels, we saw a shop that had a piece of that in their display tank, not for sale, mind you, and it was definitely one that got my attention. So very nice addition with that. Well, again, I'm sure we have not covered all of the corals, but we should talk about some fish because you've got quite a few in here.
Yeah, I got a lot of fish. I just like the fish.
Of course, and you've got some nice taste on fish here because there's some stunners. Where would you like to start? Which one is one of your favourite fish in there?
Of course, the Achilles.
The Achilles is your showpiece?
Yeah. Had this for about 4 months.
Yes.
It's very big.
He's a good sized fish, yeah. He's got great coloration on him. Even in the middle of that orange splash on the side, he's even got a little hint of yellow there just to make it look even a bit more like a bit of fire there. Yes. It really makes the colour pop. In fact, you like him that much, you've even got a little magnet of an Achilles on the side of it.
Yes. Just waiting for the food.
Just so he knows that's his nori clip because it's got a picture of him on it. Now, well, that's definitely got the fish's attention. Outside of the Achilles, you've got quite a number of other tangs in here, including a couple of yellows. You've got a Sohol in there, a couple of blonde narsos, some pretty serious, the gem, of course, some pretty serious tangs in there. How do you go with aggression with things like, a Sohol and an Achilles in the one tank? You got a powder blues has come on frame as well.
Yes.
These fish are often known to be super aggressive towards each other. How have you found them so far?
I think the personality is quite important.
Yes.
My Achilles, it's very chill. It doesn't bother with any fish.
I was going to say, the time I've been here, the time we've been filming, I have not seen that Achilles even flare up at another fish, even to the point when you moved the Nora clip. Yeah. He wasn't fussed. I guess he knows he's the boss, so he doesn't have to flex any muscle.
Yes, and the Sohol too. Sohol is, Sohol was being this tank for about a year and a half.
Okay.
Start from the beginning.
Yes.
When I introduced my Achilles in the tank, Sohol was following Achilles for about 2-3 days.
Yes.
Not making any aggressions.
Yes.
And
just keeping an eye on him.
Yeah.
Wow. And did you do any sort of acclimation box or anything special, or you just put him in and?
For the yellow tanks, yes, I do.
Yes.
I find out the yellow tanks, they can get very aggressive to the yellows.
Yep.
Like those two, they looks like still fighting.
Oh, you've got, I incorrectly said you had 2 yellow tanks. You've got 3.
Yeah. Yes. I always have to take out the aggressive one.
Okay. Yep. So you got to keep one on cycle and
put in the sump.
It goes into timeout for a little while. Yep.
Keeping the sump for about 2-3 weeks and bring it back. Sometimes they can get. They will be more than season after that. Sometimes they,
Sometimes they need round 2. Fair enough. That's an incredible list of tangs, and so that's your approach there. Really is, yeah. You put them in. If there's any aggression, you remove one into the sump, give it 2-3 weeks, and then reintroduce and cross your fingers from there.
Right.
Well, it seems to be working well because, yeah, there's some big fish in there. To see 2 blonde narsos in there as well, absolutely stunning. Now, once we go past the tangs, before we get onto the smaller fish, I have noticed in here, actually, I did also want to mention the powder blue in there, another gorgeous fish that I've often considered to be too risky for my own personal tank, and you've got one in here with an Achilles, with a sohole, with yellows, all of these fish, and he just looks incredible. And it looks to be, as you using your own words, a model citizen, which makes me incredibly jealous. But speaking of jealous, you've got this incredible assortment of clams here, and then you've got an emperor angel in there. Tell me, he does not touch your clams at all.
He is not attached to the clam, but
lucky.
Not that attached any coral.
Wow, wow, incredible.
Any
I
coral
love emperor angels, but I'm always terrified that they're going to just rip into all my corals. And then I've always said emperor angels reef safe with caution, but I'd always say if you've got clams, way too big of a risk. But you're proving that wrong. I love it.
Maybe in the future.
Well, I definitely didn't mean to jinx you at all. The last thing I want to see is anything happen to these clams, because that's a stunning collection. But to see such a proud fish like that emperor just cruising around in there, I just love the band across the eyes, gives them that real sort of Western look, and then they've got the bright colours and just a very different shape and presence to the tangs in the system, which is super, super nice. But then once we go past your tangs and your angel in there, you've got some other stunning fish in there. You've got wrasse, you've got antheas. Where do we start with there? What would you like to talk about first?
I like a lot of wrasses.
Yes.
So I've got a linearis wrasse.
Yes.
That's up here. And that's monsoon fairy wrasse, which is very new. I got
very new, yeah.
About 2 weeks ago.
Stunning fish.
It's frozen, some pellets. It's really easy to keep them.
Beautiful.
And
such a great contrast too. It's a smaller wrasse and fairly dark body with that white belly and then a bright yellow fin on it. Stunning specimen.
Yes, that's flasher.
Beautiful. That's a red flasher?
Red flasher.
And then, we've got Lenardi.
Lenardi wrasse.
Good, so I love Lenardis.
The Lenardi wrasse, they usually sleep in the sandbeds.
Yes.
As you see, it's a bare bottom tank.
Bare bottom, yes.
So I made a little bed for them.
Quite the host you are.
Yes, I've got a acrylic box with the stands. So
perfect.
Yeah.
That's the 40 winks bed for the Lenardi. And do you find he sleeps in there?
Yes.
Amazing.
We usually go inside before the lights goes off.
Oh wow! So even tells you when it's bedtime. That's incredible.
Yes.
And how do you find? I noticed he splashed a little bit of sand out there. Do you have to pick that, clean that up every now and then, or?
Yes, I have to siphon the sand out every week, like when I do water change.
Yes.
That's all.
Well, that's not too hard to maintain a Lenardi in a bare bottom system. There's probably more wrasse in here because every time I look, I find another one. But another fish that has absolutely caught my attention is this gigantic Borbonius anthea in there. He's an absolute beast. What a huge, stunning specimen he is. Have you had him for long? Did you get him that big, or has he grown?
I got a similar size, but I'm sure it's grown.
I'm sure he has too.
Yeah, I've got it about 2 years.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, from my previous tank.
Yes, yep. Sensational. And while he's on screen there, or barely on screen there, got a beautiful mandarin in there as well, kicking about, just picking up any pods he can get his hands on. And then over here, this is a lovely mature clownfish in a gig anemone.
Yes.
Beautiful. And you've managed to get the gig to stay in this cup at the end there?
Yes.
There was a bit of hesitation there. He goes for a walk sometimes, or?
I used to have a little cup.
Yes.
And as the gig grows, it's feeling it's too small for it, and start to work out.
Yes.
So I just replace another bigger cup
for him. Yeah.
And hopefully it'll stay for about a year or two.
Wow, that is every reefer's dream, is to have a gig anemone just stay in the position you want them. And look at that clownfish, absolutely enjoying life in there. He just buries himself in there. And I love the fact that you've pretty much got the two beds on either side of the weir. You've got the bed for the clown here in the gig anemone, and then on the other side you've got the little acrylic box with sand for the Lenardi. Just a perfect little nighttime location for those two fish. And then tell me about some of these antheas you've got in here, because these are absolutely stunning. Look at the color pattern on those. The pink just splashing through the body there. What species of antheas are these?
That's a Bimiclatus antheas.
Yes.
I like them a lot. It's
beautiful fish.
Very nice color.
Yes.
And also, I think I've got 6. Yeah, I haven't counted recently, but it's 6. So I've got another 3 of the bicolor antheas.
Yes, yep, I do.
Also,
like
there's this very special Orientis antheas down there.
Oh yes, yes.
It's deep water antheas, so they always just hiding down the rack.
Just hustled him out of there, but he's come back in. Yeah, they like a little bit of protection, a bit of the darkness down there. Very nice fish. How have you gone with those settling onto prepared foods? They're okay? They're eating frozen and things fine?
Yes, they eat everything.
Yeah, nice.
Frozens, pellets.
Beautiful.
I don't feed flakes, so.
No, fair enough. No, and they're eating all those, no trouble at all.
That's why I have to feed 7 cubes daily. Just too many fish.
Incredible. Now, is there any, I mean, we haven't gone over every fish, but are there any fish that I've missed that we really should talk about in here?
The soho?
Soho, definitely. Tell us about the soho.
I've had a soho for about 2 years.
Okay.
It was small, about a little bit smaller than that.
Yes.
It's really chill with every fish.
Incredible. He's going to be the only soho on the planet that is chill with other fish, particularly with other tangs.
The fish in my tank, the tanks in my the 2 fish in my tank, it's very different with others. Yes. Most people say that the Soho, Achille, and powder blue, they are very aggressive.
Yes, very much.
I've seen a lot of people, they have, that's true.
Yes.
But when they are in my tank, they just
not the
somehow,
case here.
Yeah, very chill.
It must be the food you put in. Incredible to have not only one of those specimens in your tank happy and healthy, but to have all 3 of those and more is a testament to the work you put into the system. Now, you did mention that you do feed a decent amount in the system to keep, well, one, you've got a lot of fish in the system, so you've got to feed a lot of fish, but by adding a lot of food, it should hopefully help with that, reduce any chance of that aggression. How does that then play out with your parameters? Where you've got some beautiful SPS in here, you've got LPS in here, you've got clams in here. How do you go with nutrient levels and things like that?
My nutrient levels are low, but not ultra low. Okay. Usually nitrate is about 2 to 5.
Wow, yeah.
Phosphate, it's a bit high. It's about 0.08 to 0.1.
It's still low these days.
Yeah, but with that level, I have roller mats working.
Yes.
I have GFOs running.
Yes.
Also, I'm carbon dosing.
Okay.
Not a lot, it's about 10 mils a day.
Sure.
Just to keep the phosphate low.
Keep it at that level, yeah. Okay, yep. No, well, that's working well. And any other sort of routine that you do on this system? You're doing automatic water changes or manual water changes or no water changes?
I do manual water change about 20% weekly.
Okay, decent amount. Yep.
And I do just those in 3 parts.
Yes, okay, yep. And all manual testing as you touched on before?
Yes.
Yeah, yep. Good to keep in tune with the reef. Are you using natural salt water or artificial salt water?
I'm using artificial salt.
Yep.
Chocolate marine.
Nice, high quality salt, very, very good. Now, you've had this system for about 1.5 years now, you mentioned. You've obviously had reefs before this tank. What's the future plans for this system? Now you've got it at this point, at the 1.5 year mark, you've got through all of the ugly stages, if you ever had any in here, but at the 1.5 year mark, it's matured and that's visible by the color in your corals. Where do you see this system going over the next 1.5 years again? Growing it out further or upgrading or?
The tank is really full, so I think in a year, it probably just all the coral will be touching together.
Yes.
And I don't really have a plan for the next day, But if there's a chance, I probably want to upgrade it
Yes.
to like 8 foot or maybe even bigger. But that's future plan.
Yeah, fair enough. Cross that bridge when the time comes. Well, that's simply an incredible system. I can't thank you enough for making yourself available and allowing us into your home, and secondly, sharing this beautiful tank with everyone on YouTube. I'm sure everyone's going to enjoy seeing this system because there's been so many things in here that that I've personally been told you can't do. You can't have Achilles and sew holes. You can't have a powder blue in there. You can't have Emperor angels with these clams. You can't have different anthers. You can't do this. All of these things you've proven wrong, and you've done it in absolute style. So it's an incredible testament to the work you do on this system, and I wish you all the best with the Reef moving forward.
Thank you.
All right, guys, there you have it. That was Will's Off the Hook 1800 Peninsula from Cade. And I tell you what a sensational system. So many 2-diphole corals, the incredibleness of that clam collection, and the fact that he can keep things like an Emperor Angel in there with those clams, not to mention an Achilles, a powder blue, sew hole, all of these other ridiculous tangs and antheas and all sorts of things in there. Super, super cool system. And I gotta say, a fairly simple filtration process too, to keep almost every coral under the sun, from SBS, LPS of the highest caliber, all the way through to softies and NPS corals in there as well. So Will just has everything on the go in there, and they all look fantastic, which is awesome to see. Now, that might just be the start of my Sydney trip, but I tell you what, there's even more incredible things to come. So if you are yet to subscribe to the channel, I'd highly recommend you do it. It takes 2 seconds of your time, costs no money whatsoever. There is a huge percentage of people that watch these videos that don't subscribe for some reason, and if you could, it would be really helping the channel out a lot. There is a button down there in the bottom corner. It takes 2 seconds of your time, costs no money whatsoever, I promise you, and you will get a notification when I release my next video. And I've got a whole swarm of videos to come from this Sydney trip that you're really going to enjoy, especially if you like great reef tanks. Now, I do need to give a massive shout out to these names on screen here. These are my channel members who do chip in a couple of bucks each and every month, and they do make things like this Sydney trip possible. So a massive, massive thank you to each and every one of these names on screen. I really do appreciate your support. And I did want to give a quick shout out to Jared, who made it possible for me to stay at his place and also to drive around to get to see all of these incredible tanks in Sydney. So a massive shout out to Jared as well. Thank you so much. Now, I'm not anything else to say, so I'm not going to keep on rambling, but like I did touch on, there is so much more footage to come from this Sydney trip. You're going to absolutely love the tanks and shops that we saw, so stay tuned for that, and I look forward to bringing you 2 videos each and every weekend all the way through to the end of the year. So look forward to seeing you then, guys. Till next time, stay safe, keep reefing. Cheers, bye.